That maybe the hadith, the prophecy, has a second interpretation. And that is a blockade of the Straits of Hormuz for all ships passing through that will pay a toll to Iran could be in conflict with international law. But more than that, Russia has no need to send her ships with oil to Iran and to the Gulf. Russia has other places to sell oil. Russia has no need to buy oil or gas from that region of the world. So a blockade of the Straits of Hormuz will not affect Russia.
روشن شد که جمهوری اسلامی ایران یک نظام با ثبات، مستحکم و با قدرت زیاد با اتکای به مردم خودش است. و همینطور مشخص شد که جمهوری اسلامی ایران دوستانی داره مثل روسیه که در شرایط سخت در کنار ایران میمانند و از ایران حمایت میکنند. ما از مواضع شما و از حمایت شما بسیار راضیم.
When we turn to China, the different story. The Chinese economy is significantly dependent on oil from that region of the world, passing through the Straits of Hormuz. Russia has been buying oil from Iran, a significant amount of oil from Iran. China is Iran's, by far, China's biggest customer. China is buying oil also from the other Arab oil-producing states. China is buying from Saudi Arabia. China is not only buying oil, China is also buying gas from Qatar. I don't know the figures. So now tell me, China is a proud civilization, but China is also a businessman. Will China submit to Trump and refuse to pay any toll for buying oil passing through the Straits of Hormuz? I don't think China will agree. Will Iran accept that it will not charge any toll to China and to other countries that want to buy oil and pass through the Straits of Hormuz? I don't think that Iran is going to back down on this subject. So now then, if, Trump is a man who wants to make a deal, he's a businessman, and he takes his business practice to politics and international politics. So Trump probably already knows that this is the major implication of a blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, that China is the most important actor to be affected. Trump already knows that. And so the United States might be willing now to try to negotiate a deal with China, American hegemony over the Straits of Hormuz. And the world must now watch to see what's going to happen. And if the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is correct, then one of the other implications of the mountain of gold could be that China might not agree to a deal with Trump. And that China would say, you have no right to stop our ships from passing through international waterway. And if we want to pay a toll to Iran, that is none of your business. And China is a proud civilization. So I do not think that a deal is possible, and I do not think that China will back down. If Trump backs down, then it won't be America looking great again. If Trump backs down, not only will Trump look bad, but Iran will emerge as the victor in this confrontation, and that's bad news for Israel. So the stakes are very high. The likelihood, the possibility that there might be a military confrontation between the United States and China over the Straits of Hormuz. If such a thing happens, and I hope and I pray, and my viewers will join me in hoping and praying that war does not break out between the United States and China over the blockade of the Straits of Hormuz. But if war does break out, then this could be the war the Prophet ﷺ prophesied about, that 99 out of every 100 will be killed, meaning nuclear war. I've always held the view that the nuclear war will be provoked in the north of Syria, but maybe this is the correct one, and the nuclear war might start because of the blockade of the Straits of Hormuz. This is all I need to share with you on this occasion, but the war on Iran is becoming more and more dangerous. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Independent Islamic Republic.
People keep saying, but the hadith says Euphrates, not Strait of Hormuz. But maybe that's exactly the mistake people make with prophecy. They look only at the location and miss the warning. Because what is the modern mountain of gold of the Middle East? Is there a mountain of gold out there? Of course not. It's not literal gold. It's the wealth of nations. Oil, energy, trade routes, the lifeline of the global economy. And where does the world's wealth now pass through? Of course, the Strait of Hormuz. One narrow passage capable of collapsing economies, triggering global panic, and dragging superpowers into a war overnight. Think about it carefully. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, warned of a time when people would slaughter one another over the wealth emerging from that region. Today, we're watching the Middle East become the center of a new global struggle once again. Not just between regional powers, but potentially between nuclear superpowers. Iran, yes, Iran, the United States of America, China, and we have Russia watching from the shadows. My dear friends, the old world order is shaking in real time. Maybe the Euphrates was never just about geography. Maybe it was a sign pointing to a future age where the wealth of the region would consume the world in greed, war, and bloodshed. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. And maybe we are much closer to that reality than people think. And of course, Allah, God, knows best. But one thing is certain, history is beginning to feel very prophetic. Thanks for listening to the Independent Islamic Republic. Assalamu alaikum. Over and out.